Are you looking for an easy way to organize your data within your Smart Simple instance? Do you wish perhaps that you could create a personalized portal displaying information relevant to a certain topic or a certain group of individuals? In that case, Smart Simple's personal dashboards may be the right solution for you. Smart Simple's personal dashboards look quite similar to the portals that you may be familiar with on the main page. The difference here is that they can be easily configured, personalized, and shared with individuals as well as with all users of a particular role. So a good example might be if you wanted to share some information as a dashboard with a certain amount of users who may be roles. Perhaps you may want to pass something on to your CEO or maybe your board, something like that in advance of some kind of review. This is one example for any kind of configuration possibility. So you can add charts, list views, as well as aggregates to a dashboard. These options can aid in organizing your information in preferences. So with this, we can have a look at some of these options in the system. So the way that we would access these is under our username on the top right, you'll see that there's an option under My Links for dashboards. This is something that's enabled in your system features. So under your global settings, system feature summary, so very quickly, under your global settings, system feature summary, you will see a list of recommended features. And if you scroll down, you will see personal dashboard. So when you go to that setting, you can enable that setting for any user roles that may benefit from it. It's something that you would only see a dashboard that is shared specifically with you or that you have built yourself. The list views and filters you can use are the ones that you yourself have built, whether they are personal or system list views or filters. So if we look at one that I've built earlier, we can see here that I've got a couple in place. We've got one called New Users Review. So what I did here was I started thinking about what maybe after a year of going live with the system, what kind of information might you want to provide. So in this case, I picked a few different searches. These are all based on list views. So let's see what we can do to review this information. So if we wanted to create a brand new one, we can always go to our new and dashboard. So the new dashboard is going to give us our layout. So everything that we've seen in here, we can build here. So in this case, I might say board review. I can pick one of these, click save, and this gives me a new dashboard to work with. Up until the point I choose to share it, it will not provide this to anybody else. So I can then from here add individual cards to this. As you can see, I can give each one a title, an icon, so whatever kind of information I may need to provide, it's not mandatory. I can set what kind of type this card is going to be. So if it's a list view, so just a set of data. If I want some kind of chart, these are available. Or if I might want an aggregate. So that's usually a card that contains metrics from different searches you may have. So just a very quick 10,000 foot view of your process. So in this case, I might say I want an aggregate. So I might want to create something called summary. When I do that, I can then use the plus to add a new aggregate to this card. So I might say new users. In this case, my entity, if it's something from my users or my organizations, I would pick users or companies. Anything else is UTA, so that would be your module where you might manage submissions or reviews, anything like that. So if I picked users, I can pick any list view that already exists. If I pick UTA, I can pick whatever record set has been built. So once you have those searches in place, you can then add them to a dashboard. It's very simple. So in this case, I'll pick users and default. The aggregation column would be a unique column in order to get accurate metrics. So in this case, I'll take email and I'll go with a count of users. If I'm not sure how large the number is going to be, a comment is no harm. If it's a currency, you'll be allowed to select the appropriate currency. If it's an abbreviation, that can also be possible, like comma. And from my precision, I can choose between 4 decimals and the nearest thousand. With these list views and summaries, if you knew that the person who might be viewing them may not typically have access to that set of information, you can ignore a list view security. In all cases, though, we can just link it to a list view. So this could be just for yourself, this could be for your team, whatever you may need. So we would add our different users, we would add our different types and so on. And once we're ready, we can then choose to share it with individuals. So if I wanted to, let's say, finish this up and get to my other one, share this with somebody else, I can see this is one example of one I've built earlier. So if we were to review the nuts and bolts, we've got our new users one, as we've just built. Our amount awarded, we simply just looked at a different list view and a different column with a slightly different aggregation. We have our application disbursements. Again, you can see that it's simply a different list view. And when we get into our active awards, we can see that again, this is a pie chart, but again, looking at a list view, I could customize this if I wished, if I have particular chart colors I want to highlight, perhaps. And again, reviews by status. So for example, if I want to see how the reviews in a current process might be going, I want to see if there's any need for assistance or anything like that, I can always click into those and actually review any of that information. So if I was to click into it, it would actually take me to that record. So they're interactive, they're very useful to review in that sense. And I can decide to share this dashboard. I've already decided to share it with my colleague Rachel. I could also say, you know what, this goes to my colleague Garrett or another test user, whatever that might be. And I could say this also goes to internal staff. Once I save that, that will notify those users that they have a dashboard shared with them. And when they go to their own portal and go to their own username and dashboards, they will be able to see that record. So that is particularly helpful if you only have a certain amount of people that may need to review information. It's a lot more agile, and it's also something that you can build on over time. So the more creative you can get with your filters and list views, the more that you can get out of these, of course. And one thing as well to note for any individuals who may not be in the system very much, but may need to review their personal dashboards, just under your username, you will see the option to set a page as your home page. So that's always something you can provide for users. If you wanted to emulate somebody, set that page as their home page. When they log in, they'll see exactly the dashboard you're looking for. So there you have it. That's Smart Simple Dashboards in a pretty quick option. They're a user-friendly and simple way to organize your information and share it with others in your instance. Definitely worth taking advantage of this incredible tool, and you'll see the benefits for yourself. Thanks, everyone.